Yo, what's going on, buddy? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In this video, what we're going to be discussing is I have not done a video on Ohio State college basketball once on this channel, and what I thought is I've kind of been watching the games. The last night was the first time I've ever been able to actually watch one of the games this year because they were nationally televised, and they kind of let me down. But throughout the entire season, they only have 3 losses. They're 12-3 right now, I believe. They're looking pretty good. They just had a few games here where they've lost, where it's like they just crumbled in the end. What I wanted to kind of do is talk about Ohio State college basketball in general, as to do I think they have the possibility to make the NCAA tournament, and then how far do I think they can go? Are they going to be a first round exit, round of 32, maybe a Sweet 16? Who knows? So I'm going to kind of go through and break down the roster, who I think are like the studs of the team, who I think are the key players of the team that's going to help Ohio State be able to keep winning games, and then what I think is the reason why I feel like they probably won't go that far, and just a full kind of explanation as to the whole entire team in general. So without further ado, if you're going to enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like. Be very much appreciated if you do so. And without further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, with last night's loss, they're now currently 12-3. I'll put their schedule up on screen so you can kind of see the games they played so far. But I mean, you can see they played kind of a lot of like okay teams. Games that have kind of stuck out to me. That Texas A&M loss, that was a close loss. They lost it in the end. They had a good control of the game through the first half. Second half, they were kind of pulling away. Then they kind of crumbled, and then things just went downhill. The Alabama win was a big time win. Number 17 team in the country, Alabama. They were a Final Four possibility team last season. They were a team that people were saying, oh, maybe they could win the national championship. And we come out this year and we beat them. A couple of okay wins. The Penn State win, that one really fucking hurt because I think we had like an 18-point lead in the second half, and we ended up losing that game by 3. I still don't understand how we lost that game. The West Virginia game, that one should not have been close. There were so many missed shots in that game where it was like we had the open looks, just fucking make them. And then this Indiana game, it was a very weird game. But like I said, a lot of these games, they were very kind of mismatchy kind of games. Like it was like you had the shots, you just got to make them. And then there was other games where it was like the games that we were winning, it seemed like we were struggling to get our shots, which I don't understand how that works for our team. Now going forward with the roster, I'll put this up on screen as well so you can see as well. You can see right up there kind of at the top, 16.9 points, Bruce Thornton. He's our leading scorer. He's kind of like our star player for this team. Next up, Jamison Battle. He's also a really good forward for our team. Zed Key, he was on the team. He's kind of been playing a little bit of a less role in this offense. He's still out there. It's just he's not being the main focal point like he was in like last year. I'm kind of looking through the roster and I'm trying to figure out who are our big key playmakers. Like I said, Thornton is kind of there. You can look at Battle. You can look at some of these other guys like Guile Jr. You have some role players, some playmakers, and then you have a lot of, like I said, role players. You have your Middletons, you have your Royals, you have your Okpara, I think is how you say the name, the big time center for us. I'm also looking at our 3-point shooting, which isn't that bad. The problem is we have like only like 2 or 3 guys that like we can really, I guess you could say, rely on. Like I said, Thornton, he's shooting about 34%. Guile shooting about 35%. Royal shooting about 40%. But when I look at some of these guys' numbers, some of them are actually shooting the 3-ball, and some of them are like maybe once or twice a game shooting 3-ball. So when you see that 45, 50% 3-point percentage, it's not really what you think. Now, something that I've always kind of thought with a team, no matter what sport you play, you need a leader, and I think we have that with Zed Key. Like I said, Zed Key's kind of the guy. Zed Key's our senior. He's our guy that's going to lead us to the, I guess you could say, try to get back to the NCAA tournament. Now, kind of quickly talking about just the team in general, when it comes to us crumbling in the end, that revolves around coaching. And there has been talk about Chris Holzman needing to be fired this offseason, should he have even came back for the season. They gave him a second chance, or well, third chance, fourth chance, whatever chance you want to call it. They brought him back. And so far, with a 12-3 record, it's working. Here's the problem I have. How much longer are you going to give this guy a leash until he needs to prove something? Because the way he's coaching almost like a slow pace, dial it in type of offense to where like they're not really trying to put their foot on the neck and kill the team. Like I said, when we were up like 17, 18 points against Penn State, where's the urgency to just kill them then? I think we were up by like 6 points against Indiana with like 15 minutes to go in the second half. I realized there's a lot of game left, but then Indiana went on like a 20-6 run at one point. Where is the offense? Where is the defense? And also, I think in the first half of the Indiana game, like I said, from 7 minutes and like 40-something seconds until like a minute and like 50 seconds, we didn't score a single basket. And I get it. It happens in college basketball where there's like a scoreless drought for both teams where like you can go like 4 or 5 minutes where both teams are not scoring and every basket matters in the second half. But that's some bullshit if you ask me. When it comes to coaching, you need to try to figure out how to get guys open shots, get them moments to make shots. And when you have a guy out there that's maybe you're getting them some open looks for 3 points and they've had about 2 or 3 opportunities and they're missing, get your ass on the bench. I need somebody else to come over here and try to take the shot. Because there is some moments where it's like Chris Holtmann, he's getting some guys open shots. They're just not making them. And when he's getting you open shots and you're not making them, sit your ass on the bench. Let me get somebody else in here that can go try to make this shot for me. So here's what I'll say about the team. I think it's a good team. I think it's a good roster. They have some playmakers. They got their three-point shooting. They got some rebounders. Chris Holtmann's just got to find a way to put it together. And he's got to coach better. That's the big thing. Now, when it comes to Ohio State getting into the tournament, right now where we stand, according to the bracketology, I'll put this on screen as well so you can see it. Right now, we're projected to be in the Midwest, Detroit region, going into the 7th seed up in Indianapolis, playing against Mississippi State if the season would start out, but obviously it's not going to. Being at the 7th seed at this point in the season, I would say is okay, but not okay at the same time. If we were up around the top 4, I'd be like, man, we're perfect. Keep winning games. We're playing good. We're good to go. But being down there with that 7th seed, there's a chance Ohio State could possibly lose upwards of like 10 to 15 games this year if we just stay on this trajectory of choking games. You're not going to make the tournament that way. Last season, Ohio State was pretty much told you have to win the Big Ten tournament, and if you're going to make the tournament, they did not do that. They won one game in the Big Ten tournament. They lost after that. Now, do I think Ohio State has a chance to win the Big Ten tournament this year? No, I think it's going to be either Purdue or maybe like an Illinois winning the tournament. But I feel like Ohio State has a good chance to possibly make the tournament. Maybe it's like a 10, 11, 12 seed, hopefully. Right now, at 12-3, you're kind of sitting in a good spot, but there's a lot of games left to play. You got about like another dozen to a dozen plus games to play. So anything can happen. So to kind of wrap it up, here's what I'll say. Do I think they're going to win the Big Ten tournament or win the regular season or anything like that bullshit? No. I think Purdue is going to easily cakewalk their way with, what's his name, Zed Key. That dude is a monster. He's going to be a juggernaut in the NBA when he gets there. But I think Ohio State has a really good shot to make the NCAA tournament. Maybe as a first round win, maybe they can get the round of 32. I don't think Sweet 16 is possible. They are a team that they have the capabilities to win that first game in the tournament if they make it, because generally they're going to be matched up against a so-so team. Getting to the Sweet 16, that's a challenge, and then after that, I think they're pretty much finished. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did go to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, go ahead and drop a like on today's video. It'd be very much appreciated if you do so. If you stayed to watch the entire today's video, thank you very much. And maybe I missed a detail about Ohio State. Like I said, I don't really watch the games that much. That last night's game was the first game I watched all season. So if you were a Ohio State fanatic and you watched a lot of the games, and maybe I missed a detail, or maybe there's something I need to know about this team, leave it down in the comment section down below what you kind of think about the team. Do you think they're going to be making the NCAA tournament? Do you think they're not going to make the NCAA tournament? Any of your opinions, leave it down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about it and read it. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so, and do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. I upload sports content here all the time, whether it's Ohio State content, NFL content, Cleveland sports content whenever it comes to NBA, MLB, and NFL. So if you're a fan of that type of stuff, feel free to subscribe. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.